Welcome to The Balance, the hottest talk show on TV. We're very excited to be in your homes on today. Thank you for welcoming us. We have a very special guest for you, and we're excited to introduce him to you. Today, our very special guest is Gene Goetz of the Downtown Goldsboro Lions Club. Hello, Gene.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm doing just great.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you with us on today. And first, I would like for you to start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my wife and I retired, moved down from Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
And 3 years ago, I joined the Lions Club and been active in it since then.
Okay, great. So now tell us a little bit about the Lions Club. Give us a little history on the Lions Club.
The Lions Club was formed in 1914 starting in Chicago, and through help with Helen Keller, we are supportive of hearing and visually impaired people, and we're a service to them. But it's grown to be much more than that. We cover diabetes, pediatric cancer, a whole plethora of different things, and we also service our community.
Let me ask you, according to educational experts, 80% of learning is visual. Now, how much of a role does the visual aid play in Lions Kidsight USA?
Well, what we would like to do is help children who are in the ages of 6 months to 6 years old.
Right.
That's when these visual problems start. And the problem is that when they go to school, they don't know they have a visual problem, but their learning suffers from it.
Right.
So we need to find that out. And we, through help from Kidsight and Lions International for financial backing, we were able to purchase a piece of equipment that can screen these children for these defects.
Right. Okay, so if they can't see well, it's difficult for them to learn.
Exactly.
So seeing is very vital to them, to their ability to learn.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Okay, so how many kids per year, statewide and local programs, does the Lions in the USA see?
Well, it's a big number. It's probably into the thousands of children that are seen. Nationwide, it's around 1 million kids that have been screened in our nation.
Right. That is awesome. So 1 million kids or more.
Or
have been
more.
screened, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know, the need for your organization is real because one out of approximately 7 to 15% of kids screened. How many would refer to an eye care professional? Because if I'm understanding correctly, you all do screening, but you refer to eye care professionals.
Exactly. Give you an example. At our first screening, we screened, I think about 35 kids. Out of the 35, 18 were referred that they had a deficiency in their sight,
Right.
and were deferred to an optometrist.
So, is there any financial aid that goes along with when you refer the children to the experts? Is there any financial aid that goes along to help them if there is a need?
Through the Lions, we help people who need glasses on an ongoing basis. We'll help with exams if they apply to the Lions,
Right.
But not specifically for these children. After they are referred to the parents, the only thing our organization does is send a follow-up letter to them a few weeks after the screening to determine if they have actually gone and seen an optometrist. Other than that, we're out of the picture after the screening.
Right. Okay, Gene, so the screening service, from what I understand, is free.
Correct.
Okay, so that is great in itself because without the screening, a lot of kids wouldn't even understand or the parents wouldn't know that there's a visual problem in their children.
That is correct. The only thing the parents have to do is bring the child to a screening site
Right.
where we're doing the screening, and we as Lions, all of us volunteer to be at that site and set up, and we'll do the screening totally free of charge. It takes 5 minutes and the children are in and out.
Right. So you all are mobile, there's no particular place that you have, but you set up at different areas or different places. How often are these places, for lack of words, how often do you all screen?
Well,
Annually or?
we will screen anytime
Okay.
during the month that we can get volunteers together to do it.
Oh, okay.
For example, this month we have 4 screenings coming up in
Right.
October. We come to the daycare. That's the easiest place for us to do it
Right.
because they have the facility, they have the darkened room, and we can
Right.
get it done very quickly. We can be mobile, we
Mhm.
can do it outside, but one of the problems is that we need a darkened tent to
Right.
do it in.
Right.
And that's very difficult in the North Carolina sunlight, so we prefer to use the facilities that
Can accommodate,
daycare.
right.
Yes.
That is awesome. So you said you need volunteers.
We get our volunteers from the Lions.
Right.
If anyone else would like to volunteer, we're willing to have you come and see what we do, and you can volunteer. It's not a problem.
Right. So it's a matter of training.
Exactly.
Right, right. So let me ask you, now you all have these machines set up. What type of risk factors does your machines detect in the children? As far as the vision?
We detect all the normal things that you would normally detect on the old Snelling eye chart.
Mhm.
Remember the E's
Yes.
and O's and all the letters?
The graduated
But we
lines.
also can detect blurred vision,
Okay.
unequal refractive power, if your eyes are aligning correctly. So there's some other things that are going on. The other thing is that you cannot fake our test. There's been stories of kids going in and wanting glasses to be
Right,
in the vogue of things,
right.
and they can't fool this because we're looking directly into their eyes, and we tell them what the problem is.
Right, okay, so kind of done with the old chart.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And this has become
This
more
takes that- the place
technology,
of that.
more tech
Yes.
savvy.
Exactly.
That is wonderful. That is really wonderful. Is it important for vision problems to be detected at a certain age? What age range is it important for vision problems to be detected?
The literature that I've read, if a vision problem isn't detected by 7 years old,
Mhm.
it's going to be a problem, and it's going to have to be corrected with glasses or something. Prior to that, there are certain things that can be done, and I'm not an optometrist or an ophthalmologist,
Right,
so I can't really say what would happen. But after 7 years of age,
Mhm.
that's a critical time for kids to before that, to
Right.
get screened and find these problems out.
so they could be screened as early as 6 months?
6 months, yes. Now, that's if the baby's quiet.
Right.
It's sometimes very difficult for them to open their eyes and get a focus on their eyes, but we've had them and we've done them.
Wow, that is awesome. 6 months, so from 6 months to 7 years, those are the critical times, the critical time frame in which
Right.
to detect any type of vision impairment.
Exactly, exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
that is awesome. So, expound on a little more, tell us a little bit more about the Kidsight Lions Insight.
The technical backing comes from a place called Kidsight USA,
Okay,
in conjunction with Lions International. So, for instance, this machine that we had purchased was approximately $4,000. Half of that was came through a grant from Lions International. The other half came from one of our members who has passed away, who put it in his will that he wanted us to have this machine. So Kidsight gives us the technical background and
Mhm.
information to do
Right.
it, and Lions International comes back with the money and the support for it.
right. I was reading some of the literature that I had. It says, changing life by becoming a vision screener. And you kind of touched on that a little bit when you said, the Lions provide the screening, but also because you all service, according to the literature that I was reading, 25 million children.
Yes,
25 million children need our help.
yes, yes. And Lions clubs all over the nation have the opportunity
Mhm.
to get one of these machines. And if they do, then they can go out and be certified screeners. And it takes a half hour to be a certified screen.
Wow,
So the training is very quick.
very quick, very simple.
Yes, yes.
That is great. So you guys really need volunteers.
Well, we do. We need new lions
Mm-hmm.
and we need volunteers. Now, you're not committed to be a lion
Just
when
because
you
you
come and
volunteer.
volunteer. But I think once you do, you'll get hooked on our organization.
So, how long have you been with the Lions Club?
I've been with the Lions for 3 years.
For 3 years, okay. So you've learned a lot of information. And not only, I mean, we know that Lions Club takes care of the site, but you have named a few other things that they also, like medical-wise, diabetes.
Diabetes, pediatric cancer, hunger, relief programs for
Right.
our environment. We do community service all over the community. Anytime a community groups ask us to be somewhere, National Night Out Day, we're out there giving away popcorn. So, you know, simple things like that to actual fundraisers for diabetes.
Right. So, fundraising for diabetes.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's great. So, diabetes, children cancer, visual sight, and one other thing you named.
The environment.
The environment. That's very critical. That's very critical to our children. And you know, children are our future. So we need to do everything we can to make sure that they have medical things in place that's going to help them, you know, live a long, healthy life, to make sure that we catch, you know, any type of illnesses that they have at an early age.
Exactly.
Right, and you know, my hat's off to the Lions Club for all that they do to make sure that the children are well taken care of, you know, medically, and
Exactly.
all the preparation. And one thing about it that's really great is this is free. This is a free service. Give us some contact information for anybody wanting to help, anybody wanting to donate. We'll give them that a little bit longer, but is there any information that you can just kind of throw out here now?
Our email
Mm-hmm.
for our club is Goldsboro Downtown Lions Club.org.
Goldsboro Downtown Lions Club.org.
Yes, they can contact that site and put a message on there or take a look at that. You know, that's actually an email, so
Right.
you can email that site and we'll pick that up.
Okay, great. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna come right back with more with Gene on the downtown Goldsboro Lions Kidsight. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Darius Pemberton, your new host of the show Goodfellas. We're inviting you to our new season that will begin on October the 4th. We're going to be hitting some very good topics that I know you won't want to miss. We'll be hitting topics such as dealing with our justice system, and one of the most important topics, dealing with our health. And we're going to be talking to men, the boys, and to everybody. That is why I want you to tune in. Don't miss an episode. Remember, beginning October the 4th, tune in for that new season. Even though you have the goods, but the gates are locked and you can't get in the field to get in the game. Who knows? Maybe you need a little more knowledge. Maybe even the key to the gate will help you out. Goodfellas will throw you a pass.
Okay, we're back. Okay, Gene, we're gonna go a little deeper into the conversation. We've touched on a few things. So tell us, how often will your organization actually screen? How often will the Lions Club screen? And tell us what a child can expect during the screening. Just kind of walk us through the scenario so the people can get, kind of a visual.
Depending on our schedule for our Lions, people can come in, can call and arrange a sight screening at their facility any day of the week.
Okay.
We're open to schedule that anytime we can get a few volunteers together.
Weekends also?
And yes, weekends, we can do that. We can do that if need be.
Right.
But you gotta understand that it's difficult to get volunteers from the club to do that at that time.
Right.
We'll consider it. And we only need a minimum of 3 volunteers to do a screening. It's easier to do it with more, but 3 is a minimum.
Okay, Gene, just kind of walk us through the process.
Okay, well, typically I will get a call from a daycare center. And at that time, I'll arrange a time to come over to the daycare to look at the facility and make sure that there is a subdued or darkened room that we can work in. And I also drop off forms for the parents to sign as a waiver so that they know that their kids are involved in a legitimate program.
Right.
Then we'll set up a time in the future, maybe a week or so, give them time to get the forms filled out, and we'll come back and we'll set up for the screening. The setup takes about a half an hour. Basically, we have a printer and a camera, and the camera is much like, a little bit larger than a 35mm camera, and we face the child about 3 feet away from the child's eyes in this room, and we wait for the camera to do its job. And it usually takes about 30 seconds for the camera to focus on the child's eyes, and then it gives us a readout. And it will say pass or fail, and it will give us some indication as to what the problems are, nearsighted, farsighted, and so on. If there's a problem, let me go back. If the child passes all clear, that child is finished and can walk out and go on their way. If there's a problem, we will print out a hard copy of the information that's in the machine and hand that to the parent or the daycare for transfer to the parent so they know exactly what's going on, and they can take this to their optometrist or ophthalmologist, and they can then, he'll have the information that we have taken and go on from there. And then, of course, that child can go on with their day also. So at that time, the screening is finished, and we're off on our own.
That's great. That is a great service. So let me ask you, what places will you all go in? We talked about daycares. So will you go other places other than daycares?
Basically, we will go anywhere outside the North Carolina sun. By that I mean, setting up outside is very difficult for us because we need a lower light area, and we've tried it in a 10 by 10 canopy tent, and it really didn't work out very well.
But now this is not only local.
That's local.
Right, but you will go.
But a parent, if either a parent or a daycare calls us and wants a screening for their child, or they can get in contact with any Lions Club in the nation.
Right.
In fact, Lions are now worldwide and have been for a while. There are many, many clubs all over the world, all over your city. So if you just get on the internet and search out, in fact, go to lionsclubs.org and you can find a club in your area. They have a locator there. Go to that location, and through that, you can find someone who can do a screening for you.
So there may be someone out there interested in becoming a member of the Lions. Can you give us some information on that?
Certainly. If you're a member in our area, you can just come to our meetings. We have meetings every Thursday. We have lunch meetings in Goldsboro here. Otherwise, again, go to Lions International and find a Lions Club in your area. And all you have to do, you do need a sponsor. One of the Lions is an existing member to sponsor you. But if you walk into a meeting at their meeting time, you'll get a sponsor. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, so the only thing you need to become a member of the Lions Club is you need to have someone to sponsor you. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And you guys meet, how often do you meet?
We meet, our club meets once every week.
Okay.
Now, a lot of clubs meet every 2 weeks. Some clubs meet a month. We even have clubs in cities that are cyber clubs who meet only on the internet. So every club in the Lions organization is really a club on their own. They do their own projects. They write their own rules. They are under some of the international rules and regulations. They have to report what they're doing. But other than that, you're really free to do whatever you want as your Lions Club.
Okay, so basically, they're under the Lions, they go by some of the basic rules, but they can come and form their own kind of bylaws.
They can, well, they can alter their bylaws to a certain extent, yes, but they have to abide by the national bylaws also. But what I mean by doing their own thing, they can find and search out their own projects.
Right.
Their own service projects, their own fundraising projects. We have clubs that are very service-oriented to the community. We have clubs that are not. Some clubs have one fundraiser a year, they raise a lot of money, and then they write checks the rest of the year to give out to people for eyeglasses and relief or whatever. So they're all doing good, just in different ways.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. Well, let me just give you a moment to expound on anything that you feel is important that we have not covered during this interview.
I think it's important for people to be involved in Lions. It does more for the community, and it actually is good for people to get involved. And it's a humbling experience to work with our visually impaired and hearing impaired, and it's really just good for everybody.
Right. It's always good to be of service. It's always good to be a help. You know, we are here to help one another, and especially our children, because we know that the children are our future, and children are very vulnerable. You know, sometimes parents are in a situation where they can't take their children to get screening unless it is someone offering or providing a free service. So hats off to the Lions Club. I think it's a great club. I've learned some information today that I wasn't aware of.
Thank you.
You know, because, you know, most when we think of the Lions Club, we think of eyesight, we think of vision. But you've given us some insight today that not only does it cover impaired vision, but also other areas for children.
Right.
Other medical things that we'd be going through.
Yeah.
Again, diabetes, children cancer.
Exactly.
That's one other thing.
Disaster relief.
Disaster relief.
Everything gets down to the children, though.
Yeah. So that is very important. So again, the Lions Club has been around since 1914, and
Yes.
it was established by
a businessman in Chicago,
right.
and in conjunction with Helen Keller, and she started the ball rolling.
Okay, the Lions Club is an organization that is very helpful, very resourceful, and you know, Gene, again today, thank you so much for being here, because I've learned a lot about the Lions Club that I did not know. Now, the Lions Club, and then we have the Lion Club Kidsight. Now, can you just differentiate, tell us the difference between the two?
Well, the Kidsight is an organization that helps us with the technical support of the equipment for the screenings.
Okay, that's the Kidsight.
That's it.
Okay.
Yes, and it's they put the name Lions on it in reference to the screening.
Right.
To the screening. So other than that, they have no play in Lions.
Okay, just the Kidsight.
Right.
Once again, very informative information. We are so glad that you came out and shared this information with us on today. You've been a great guest. Again, thank you. And we hope we have given you guys some information. We're going to let Jim, we're going to have social media information on the bottom of the screen. Jim, you want to just go ahead and tell us the social media information, although it's going to be on the bottom of the screen.
The website is Goldsboro Downtown lionsclub.org. And you can go to that and get information on our club.
Do you have a Facebook page or Instagram page?
We have a Facebook page. Quite frankly, I think if you just search under Goldsboro Lions Club,
Okay.
you'll get to the Facebook page.
Okay. And again, we will have the information on the bottom of our screen. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to be with you today. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you have a great day. Remember, the Lions Club, it is a great resource for your child. Take advantage of it. Go to the website, get some information, get knowledgeable, spread the word. And if you want to be a volunteer, be a volunteer. We need to help our children. Our children are our future. We love them. They need us. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you next time right here on The Battle.